Hello, Beth Barrett here to talk some more about nesting co-parenting. And there are so many topics related to this way of co-parenting, and especially since my ex and I have been doing it for over 8 years. But I'll start out with some of the most frequent questions we get. And the number one question is, where do you live when you're not in the nest? And for us, this has evolved a bit over the years. Very initially, I lived at my parents' a few days a week. He traveled for work or visited friends. We did that for a couple of months until we figured out and found a small, fairly cheap one-bedroom apartment near the house that we could share. And I say share in quotes because we were never actually there at the same time. We were moved in and out of it the same day we would move in and out of the house to co-parent. And that lasted for about a year, and it was a good approach because we weren't sure how long we were going to keep nesting, and it was something we could get out of fairly easily if it wasn't working out for us. But nesting was going well, but we didn't like never being away from the sense of the other person. And so after about a year, Bill found his own place to rent that was, again, close to the house, a cheap furnished I think it was a one bedroom as well, something small, because neither of us ever have the kids at those apartments. So he did that for a little while, but then he began to travel so much for work, obviously pre-COVID, that it didn't make sense for him to also rent an apartment. So then he began to just travel for work, extend his trips sometimes and visit friends so that we still maintained our 50-50 parenting, and I continued to live in that one bedroom apartment. Now, 8 years later, I'm still in that apartment, which I like a lot. And Bill now has a serious girlfriend. And for the past couple of years, if he's not traveling for work, which hardly happens after COVID, he will stay with her at her house and then come here when it is time to parent. So there's all sorts of other ways that people do it, ranging from continuing to stay in the same house but living in separate areas, to moving in with a new spouse, and the whole gamut in between that. And I'll talk to you more about that in further videos and also in my book that comes out in the spring. So thanks for listening to this, and I'll talk to you more about some other stuff soon.